All right, we got another episode of Chicago Blueprint, and we got one of the cornerstones here, Frank Kimbrough. Frank, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, born and raised in Chicago, South Side. Been living here for now 57 years. Just had a birthday, January 2nd. Long time, right? I would say that been fortunate enough to been grown up with some good people, people that I still have relationships with from younger to now. I think the cornerstone is relationship and having a good name. My father, his name is Frank. You know what I'm saying? So he's been here since the 40s, so I guess carrying a name is everything. Mm-hmm. Keeping integrity, doing the right thing, doing what you say you're going to do.
Yes, sir.
That's the most important thing, and staying safe and out the way.
Oh, yeah. Let's dive in a little bit about where you came from before you got into real estate and multi-level marketing.
Yeah,
well, speak a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you guide the questions. Naturally, I come up in the streets, I went to high school right there in Tarrytown. It was a small private school, and during that time, that's when, you start getting introduced to the streets and different things, and then you start learning how to hustle. I think, for many of us, we come up in that era where we learn how to hustle, we learn how to eat for ourselves, how to feed for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, one thing leads to another, and then the next thing you know, there you are. So,
yeah. It's safe. So, when was it like one of them turning points when you got that aha moment, like, you know what, I'm done with the streets?
Well, I think... I think many people, when they look at the streets, I don't know how the streets is now. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But back then, we talking a lot of money. You see a lot of money. You see a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You experience a lot of things, right? And when you have probably experienced some of the things I have experienced, in fact, I would say that my mother must have got a direct line with God, right? Because I'm definitely either supposed to be dead or in the penitentiary. That's for sure, because, I've been able to accumulate a lot of money. And when you accumulate a lot of money and you start making, those transitions, right? And I guess, and for me, it was, I accidentally got into real estate, right? I had no intention on getting into real estate. It was never my goal.
It was an accident, huh?
It was an accident, right? And what happened was, I'm in the streets making a lot of money. And, the person, I was renting a apartment downtown, a condo from a lady. And then she came to me one day stressed out. And, it's like, I need to, these people going to take my place, because I borrowed money from these people, these gangsters from the north side. And if I don't pay them by the end of the day, then they own my property. Why don't you buy it? And I could work out a deal and then you could pay me back. And I said, well, how much? I think she said it was like 20,000, whatever it was. That was nothing.
Right, back then.
That was like Friday and Saturday at the club, right? Out, Slicks. Right. You remember Slicks? Exactly. Back in the day, right? We spent it at old Cristal,
Exactly.
So I knew nothing about real estate. All I knew was that, and I'm signing paperwork, so I go get the guys, and they tried to just say, offer me more. Mm-hmm. But, I kept my word. My word was with her. Mm-hmm. So I gave her the deal, so I gave them the cash, and then they had me sign paperwork, And the only thing I'm thinking about that time, I don't know what I'm signing, and I just hope that these guys ain't doing nothing crazy, because they dealing into a crazy guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, they had me sign the paperwork, and it was funny, right? Because these were some Greek guys, but the guys who was getting the real estate was two black guys, and their name was Al Young Senior and Al Young Junior. I'll never forget them. And Al Young Senior, he said, when I left out the office, because the Greek guys, I told them, no, I'm just keep my deal. They said, well, how much money do you have? You have any more money, cash laying around? And I thought that's the strangest question to ask a street guy.
Right.
How much cash you got laying around?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm looking at them like, man, is these people them people?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why are you asking these type of questions, right?
Exactly.
So they said, no, we can get more real estate. Instead of sending them to them, we can send you some. I said, you know, I got more where this come from. So nevertheless, you know, I came back and got the property, and then they started introducing me to other properties. So I started buying properties, you know. So they was getting the deeds and I was getting the cash, and then I was refinancing it, and you know, so I was just tricking into it. And I had got the house. I was living in Orland Park at the time, and my wife at the time, she wanted to get the bathroom remodeled. So there was a construction company that was on 87th Street. It's called Galaxy. I don't know if anybody remember it. Galaxy was there, right? So I hired them. They came out and they did the work. There's two Polish guys, and the two Polish guys were so unhappy working for them. They said, if you ever got a project, we'll come and do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they brought me the second deal, which was a 2-flat,
right.
I called them.
them.
So when I called them, they said they had quit their job and now they work for me. I said, I only got this one building, but you know what I'm saying? Right. They said, no, you should go get your general contractors. It's like general contract. I'm like, okay, I'm not even trying to even be into this right here. But then I saw opportunity, whereas I said, well, instead of spending all this money in the club, I could be putting these money into these buildings. And, you know, it's better than putting money up somewhere. Because every time you put some money up somewhere, it never come back the same as what you put it up to.
Know.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody slipping off top.
Right. You know how it go, right? So that's when I was first introduced into real estate. But then what happened was you know, you start building things up, and I started accumulating real estate. And I looked up, you know, here I am accumulating real estate, and I'll never forget. They kept bringing me these deals. So now I decided I'm going to flip some of them. Right? So I flipped them, and it was the scariest moment in my life, because here I am, I flipped these real estates, and I think I did 2 closings the same day. And I'm in my lawyer's office. The lawyer, his name is Joe Puckney. He's a Jewish attorney. Good guy. And I said, man, I'm going to the penitentiary. He said, what are you talking about? I said, man, I got a $450,000 check, man. I'm not supposed to. He says, nothing wrong. You ain't did nothing wrong. I said, man, it got to be something wrong. I've never had that much money legit at one time. Cash was nothing, right? You know what I'm saying?
On one slip of paper.
On one sheet of paper. What am I supposed to do with it? So he took me over and told me, you know, over to Chicago Title Trust, set me up tax referral account, and he told me, you can put the money here for 90 days, and then you got to buy real estate with it before 90 days.
Exactly.
So then I had to buy and sell real estate. So I had to keep that cycle going. So so naturally, you know, I'm burning candles on 2 ends. I'm doing real estate. I'm still in the streets, making plenty of money. Everything is going well. And then I wake up one morning and, you know, and I'm calling a couple of my guys. And all I'm doing is talking to their wife, and them, you know what I'm saying, and them Alphabet boys, it just kicked in all the doors. So I was like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, you know. And it was funny because one of them, they had, you know, mentioned, you know, what they was going to be doing, and mentioned, oh, I ran into an old connect, because at the time, you know, we wasn't really doing anything. And I was loving it when it was nothing to do, right? Because I had money, I was straight, right? So I didn't really have to hustle, and I just never forget telling them, I worked real hard to get right. Why would I go back left? You know what I'm saying? And I never forget, I told them that all glitter is not gold.
Nope.
You know, and then not even 2 weeks later, they all picked him up, and the center of the investigation, of course, was me. But I was fortunate. Stand-up guys. They all stood up. They all did what they needed to do, you know. And after that, you know, and my mother said, I'll never forget, when I came to my mom's house, after just getting everything ready, right? Because I know they coming, right? My mother said, don't worry about it. I already talked to God. I said, Mom, I don't know if that was God you was talking to. We don't know what I've done.
Right.
I don't know if that, but evidently it was God, and, after that, I never looked back. I said, you know what, if I can't make it with, and I had over $1 million worth of real estate, if I can't make it with this, then I'm just a dope dealer. I ain't no hustler.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's the
reinvent
difference.
yourself. Huh?
Yeah. It's called pivot.
Pivot. I was just finna say
Yeah,
pivot.
you got to pivot, right? Life is all about pivots.
Mm-hmm.
People get stuck in the same thing. They like quicksand.
Yeah.
They get stuck with the same thing, all the time, focus on the same projects, trying to make the same thing work. Everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 57 years old. I got to learn AI. I got to learn technology. I got to stay advanced.
Gotta eat different.
Yeah. Huh?
Gotta eat different.
Gotta eat different.
Yeah.
You gotta, everything has to change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because anything that doesn't change, okay, or grow is dead. That's the only dead people don't change.
Facts.
So change is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I ended up getting it, and that was my pivot point. And that was back in 2006. And I never even looked back, not one bit.
Yeah.
Ain't it funny how when you got favor over your life, God will push you in a direction of your destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just listening to your story, I have a similar story to that, but I just see it, what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
And it's up to you to go right or left. You could have went left. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, because the streets, there's no lifelong longevity in the streets. I don't care who you are. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm saying, if the feds don't catch you and death don't catch you, health will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stress.
It's stressful.
It's the stress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The stress.
Going to bed, looking out the window, waking up, looking out the window.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the day to day.
It's the day to day, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping with your clothes on. Sleeping by the door. Sleeping in the living room. So, you know what I'm saying? Your kids, don't wake your kids up when they keep the door. You know, and I've had encounters of that. I've been investigated. Not just saying investigated, but encountered by every agency, FBI, DEA, Secret Service, Homeland Security, and the IRS. I think that covers all of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the alphabet.
It ain't, all the alphabets. Ain't no paperwork, no snitch, stand up, every time.
Most definitely.
Keep your mouth shut, you know what I'm saying, and lawyer up, and let it go from there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it over here. We can check paperwork around here.
Yes, sir.
When your lawyer paid off, you ain't got to tell.
Yeah.
While we're still on, let's talk about the real estate. What's one of a deal that you passed up on that you still kick yourself in the butt today about? You probably had one or two or three of them.
A deal that I passed up on
and
I kicked myself in the butt for. The one deal that I passed up on, and I wouldn't say I passed up on, I should have kept.
Should have kept. Okay. I think you told me the story. But
go ahead. It's in my house in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah, my house in Nashville. I think I still have nightmares about that. I don't know if it's nightmares or dreams.
Right.
I bought that house for $200,000. House worth easily $1 million right now, 1.2.
Mm-hmm.
And in real estate, we're taught to buy and flip, and I think buying and flip is overestimated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be in a position to hold right now.
Mm-hmm.
Build your portfolio.
Build your portfolio. Because you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? God ain't making no more of.
No more land.
He ain't making no more land.
Nope.
And I'll never forget, I was in Oklahoma at my daughter's graduation. And we was at dinner with her grandfather, Bill Winston, Pastor Bill Winston. And he encouraged me to get back into real estate. He said, you should get back in real estate, Frank. And I asked him, I said, why? He said, because you need to buy land because God ain't making no more. And that was just enough for me. It just made perfect sense, and immediately I jumped back into real estate, But yeah, so that one, my condo downtown, the one. That was the one
Right.
that I did my first real estate deal.
Uh-huh.
Naturally, that one right now would probably be worth close to $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I gutted that out. But the house in Nashville is the one that I will say that I would probably be living in that house right now. I miss that. I miss
It was
that
nice.
one. Yeah, yeah. I hate not even talking about it. No, it's the rest of this. So that should have been the last question so I can go somewhere and cry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's probably the main one.
The one?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, let's talk about your multi-level marketing now. When did you jump into that, and what made you be like, you know what, let me take a leap of faith over here and see what this can do for me?
Yeah, it was another pivot. It was in 2007 when the real estate market crashed,
Yeah.
right? Good friend of mine is Marshall Forson. He was in multi-level marketing, and I had never had anything like some people are skeptical about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was never skeptical about it. I mean, come on. I mean, you know what? You make a $500,000 investment. How can you be skeptical about $500,000 investment, right? It's really saying you're skeptical about the person that bring it to you, right? It's not so much you skeptical about the opportunity because the only thing that's needed is to sell either product or service or and introduce it to friends and families. Well, one thing I had enough people that owed me favors, right? Whereas I should be able to ask them at least to look at what I'm looking at, and definitely I had enough people that I could talk to, and I wasn't afraid about, my whole life been about rejection. You get rejection when you build up a life of rejection, and you go through all the stuff you've been to go through. What is a no gonna do for me? Nothing. It's,
Eventually turn into a yes. Somebody gonna say yes.
Yeah. The whole world can't say no to you.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So that is what got me involved in, and then I got involved. I saw that it was I'm very competitive.
I use that term a lot.
Yeah. If I'm gonna do something, I feel like, how do I get to the top? How fast can I get to the top? What do I need to do to get to the top? Mm-hmm. And at the time, Marshall Forson, my mentor, he told me exactly what it is I need to do, and I followed it to the T.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was so coachable. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And being coachable, shoot. I mean, I ran right to the top, man. I made, in my first company I was with, I made $7 million. Off of what? At that time, a $500 investment.
Oh, that's what it was, $500 investment.
It was $500.
Mm-hmm.
I turned $500 into $7 million. I've never done it this day today. That real estate. I ain't never bought a property for $500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, flipped it for $7 million.
No, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So the return is definitely there. And then, but the greatest thing about multi-level marketing is the people you meet. The people I was been able to align myself with. People often think that I've known some of these people all my life, some of these powerful people. I knew powerful street people, right? But when we talk about powerful people that are in the world, I mean, I met my first billionaire in network marketing, and then the personal development. It was God preparing me for growth, right? Because I tell people, if you don't do nothing else, if you can get in a company, never miss an event, because the trainers will give you the game of life for nothing. I've been personally mentored by Darren Hardy. I've been mentored by John Maxwell, Robert Kiyosaki, E.T. Hip Hop, I mean,
you met with Robert? You met with Robert?
I got yes. Billionaire Mike Seller, I mean, you name it, man.
I remember that event with Darren Hardy down in Orlando, and I picked up some gems from that event as well too.
So I went to he had a special program that he only allowed 12 people to do it. He does about every 5 years.
Okay.
And in this program, you have to make at least 50 to 100. Your company have to make $50 to $100 million a year.
Okay.
To get in this program. He do it at his house. He got a house in San Diego and he got one in Florida. So this one was in his house in Florida. And so you fill out an application and he picked me to go to that event. Now, naturally, I wasn't making no $50, $100 million a year.
Right.
And I asked him, why did he pick me?
Right.
And basically he said, because I knew you was from the hood and I want to see how you perform.
Right.
I see the hustle in you. They can spot it.
Yeah. And he said, and the second reason is because I came, because he also, like he saw at that event, he also came to train the top people at the corporate office at the time. And he said, out of all the top people in the company, you the only one that asks, where can I further my growth? You know, so I was seeking growth. And we got to see growth because, you know, life is, when we talk about personal development, it's no destination. It's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey till you go. You know, you can read the Bible, 66 books, and you can read it every single year, right? And you still ain't learned the Bible.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, and naturally, all good things come from the Bible.
Most definitely. We're still with the MLM, multi-level marketing. Have you ever walked away from MLM, and why not?
Have I what?
Have you ever walked away from
multi-level marketing?
Have I ever mean like a particular company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to another one.
Yes. Yeah. I've been probably right now with 3. You want to count one of them, maybe 4, but really mainly 3. You know, my first company I was with was in telecom when that dried up. You know, then I went into health and wellness, and after the health and wellness, I was in with a company with health and wellness, great company, still a good company, and I kind of just laid back, and then I got into a little financial company, I think it was, and that was because people was asking me, because I'm into real estate. I was helping so many people with their credit, man, for free. And I said, man, I need a platform. And then I saw this one network marketing company. I said, well, I'll just do this network marketing company and get people to use it. And then really I was still kind of with that company, but it was about 2 years ago, I kind of faded away from that because I was back into real estate. And then my mother health had took a turn. So she had got stage 4 cancer, and on a second chemotherapy treatment, we decided to bring her home, right? We could bring her home and let God just take it from there.
Exactly.
Couldn't walk, she couldn't eat, she could do anything. So I'm invited on a call, and on this call they said it's going to be a billionaire and he's coming to America. And when I got on the call, it was him and a couple more other leaders. And he asked, have you ever, he asked me, have you ever heard of a balance test? And I said, a balance test? I said, no, I never heard of a balance test.
Right.
And I said, I didn't know what it was. But I understood that if they had a test that can tell you exactly what your body needs and what you're lacking from and what's causing you damage, I said that is genius, right? Because blood is the gold standard, right? And we can all talk about what we need, but only science reveals, because if you can't measure it, that's like anything we do. If you can't measure it, then it's not science. Science, everything is measured. And then he started talking about this balance oil. And I knew omega-3 and I knew vitamin D3. He mentioned polyphenols, didn't know what it was. Right. So I said, well, send me a sample. So he sent me a sample. I started giving it to my mother. Week and a half, she started eating. Before that, she had lost about 30 pounds. Another week, she had went to the bathroom on her own. Third week, she had walked down the stairs. Now I'm like, me and my sister, like, is it this product?
Exactly.
You know you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we giving her. We brought her home. The nurses, everybody just said, we just really preparing, getting her affairs in order, right? And then next thing we know, you know what I'm saying, they invited me because they said, why don't you come to Norway? And I gotta be honest with you, I was like, Norway. I got a bucket list of 200. Y'all didn't make it, you know. And it was like November, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, who goes to the North Pole in the November? You know what I'm saying? And I went with Shanice and Larry Hoover. He went with us, and my sister and somebody else. And I never forget Shanice talking about, but the what she say, the Northern Lights. They started talking about the Northern Lights. I said, man, I could care 2 cents about the Northern Lights. But I was curious.
Right.
So I went. And because when it comes to health, some of the people I represent, like the Nation of Islam, you know, you asking for blood. We want to make sure that, you know, it's going independent from the company. So, you know, they was able to set up a meeting where I can go to the laboratory and meet the scientists and different things like that. So I went out there, and I'm building that company today. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
The company you're building today, what's the name of that?
Zinzino.
Zinzino. That's
It's the number 4 fastest health and wellness company in the world right now.
Yeah, that's
They're
right.
publicly traded too.
Publicly traded, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. The next
stocks been growing 12 years straight at 33%.
Wow. Oh, they're moving.
Yeah, they're moving.
In the right direction.
Yeah, in the right direction.
Zinzino is your company, or you're affiliate of the company?
I'm affiliate of the company.
Okay.
Yeah, I work directly with the owner.
And they are a health awareness company that helped cure your mother?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say any product cures anybody.
Right.
But when your body's given the right nutrition, then the body would do what God intended it to do, and that take care of itself. It's the food that's killing us.
Oh yeah.
It's the food that's gonna heal us.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So so I'm all about real products with real food. And when you testing and not guessing, it makes a difference.
It makes a big difference.
Right. If you could test and you know your body's deficient in something, especially if I didn't even know being deficient in omega-3 is essential. Like, you cannot live without omega-3. That's a scientific fact. And if you got too much omega-6, it's going to lead to 97% of every disease that's out there. 97%. Scientific fact. Google it. AI it.
Right.
So you got to figure out how much omega-6 you need, got, and how much omega-3 you're lacking. And the only way to know that is to do what? Take a test. You know? And that test revealed that.
And how is that test being done? Through blood or?
Do blood.
Okay.
Yeah. And in 120 days, you retest yourself.
Okay.
95% of people back in balance. Inflammation is removed. Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You're a man in many hats, Frank, man. Shout out to you, man. Just love your hustle, man. Never stop, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's going on in Chicago, man. What real niggas are born. What they say, what's the term? What real niggas are born, not made, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that I believe everybody is real. I believe everybody got a gift. You know, I just don't think that we all
tap into it.
We don't think we tap into it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't, you know, and we are so stuck into our thinking, you know, that, you know, I was talking with a lady today, and it was about her business, and she was trying to that, you know, her business is not doing well. I said, well, I said sell. I said sell, and she said, but I got so much debt. I said, well, you know, we start over. You're young enough to start over. If you got to sell and file bankruptcy, whatever it is you got to do. I mean, the most powerful man in the world, he filed bankruptcy about 7 times.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I mean? Seemed to work out pretty good for him. You know? So I said, but don't sit stuck. I'm not gonna sit stuck.
In quicksand.
I'm not gonna sit stuck in figure. I'm gonna pivot. You know what I mean? If you don't learn how to pivot, you know, and take a chance and figure, and then if you do pivot, find you a mentor. You know what I mean? Find you a mentor, because, you know, it's so many mentors out there fake doing it on real estate. Oh my God. I hate to even turn on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a real estate expert, you know what I'm saying? From driving the Uber car. Now, I got nothing to do with nothing against driving Uber. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't own any real estate, you know, how you got all the great ideas about it?
About real estate.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, people be able to say, I can repair your credit. You know what I'm saying? What is your credit score.
Score.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a 580, but you're gonna repair mine.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna talk about business credit. Oh, I can get you business credit. What is your business score look like?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
What is your Dun and Brasco?
Exactly. What's your index number? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, like, you know, and I get it. Like, nobody stays on top. My credit score 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it dropped all the way down to 450. Because life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a roller coaster,
right.
up and down.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I sent somebody to repair it, and they swiped everything clean, which was worst thing because I had so much real estate. History.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can have is history.
Yeah.
History. And they just destroyed my total history. Oh my gosh. I almost went back to the streets on that dude. And so I rebuilt it back up. And I rebuilt it back up with self-credit card. Those that little self commercial.
Yeah.
Man, I got the self card, you know, and you put $100 into it every single month.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what, you know, and I guess we're gonna talk about this, but my cornerstone was I always tell people discipline, right? So I was disciplined enough. I was doing like 150 a month, whatever the max was, I was putting in there, right? Because if you want expedient results, you got to maximize the effort.
Yeah.
Okay. So after 90 days, so they set you up with basically like you basically buying furniture, right? They give you this little term, and then you basically just paying it back to term over 12 months, right?
Exactly.
And then they give you a check back with interest. So, but after 90 days, then they send you a debit card because remember, after 90 days, you didn't put in about $450.
Yeah, exactly.
So they send you a debit card of your own money with $300 balance, right? So I took that. So now I got 2 cards. And after about 8 months, I went and got me a Capital One. It was about $500 limit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? but when you think about this, guys, this is back in 2020.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's back in 2020. That's not that long ago.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
5 years ago.
It's 5 years ago. So here I am, these 3 cards, right? Went from those 3 cards, which not even having $1,000 limit total on everything, to right now, you know what I'm saying? I can swipe for $300,000 on my business name, separate from my personal.
Exactly.
You know?
Oh yeah.
But it takes discipline.
Discipline, yeah.
It takes discipline.
And see the vision down the road.
Right.
If I do this and this, I can get here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get your opinion from the people. The moral of that story is get your opinion from the people you want to live like. Right. You want somebody to learn how to do credit.
Yep.
You know, so. But don't start calling me for credit. Right. That's the reason I got to the other company because I'm sending people there to fix their credit. You know, exactly. but that company it does have a good credit program. It did help me because it told me when to pay down early. Right. You know what I'm saying? To do this to boost your score. It had me a little boost, and I just followed. I just followed the process. You know what I'm saying?
The template.
Yeah, it's a template. Yeah.
So you read books, Frank?
Oh yeah.
All right, give me a book that you would recommend that somebody should read.
Brian Tracy, No Excuses.
Brian Tracy,
No Excuses.
I like that title, No Excuses.
Brian Tracy, No Excuses.
I like that.
Yeah, now you know everybody know about the Napoleon Hill book, you know what I'm saying, and all this and that. But to me, No Excuses by Brian Tracy. I would recommend you read that book once a year.
I like that title. I like that.
That is an excellent book. Get the audio. Right. It is strong.
Okay.
Yep.
Best advice you followed earlier.
The best what?
The best advice you wish you followed earlier.
The best advice that I wish I followed earlier is probably studying more of God, get more in tune with God.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would be the best advice that I could give anybody. You know,
worst advice you ever took, then?
Huh?
What's some of the worst advice you ever took?
Some of the worst advice I ever took. Oh boy, is the house with Tennessee.
Oh, wow. Selling that. You went right back to that Tennessee house. Huh?
I go right back there with that one right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a thorn in my side,
I see.
right?
You keep on going back to it.
Yeah.
If you can go back and talk to yourself in the streets, what exact thing would you tell yourself to do different?
What would I tell myself to do different if I could go back and talk to myself
When you was in the streets?
in the streets? Man, that is a really, really good question. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if I don't know I don't know exactly what I would say to myself different, because we learn through failure. We learn through adversity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know what my outcome would be if it was sweet for me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
right.
know?
Yeah.
Just probably, I mean, probably one thing I would tell people, if I had to go tell myself, you know, what to do is stay out the club. Don't spend money on jewelry. Don't spend money on jewelry, in the club, and on cars.
Yeah.
Put it all into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Put it all into real estate. That is the best way you could put your money up. Buy the block.
Everything you just
Buy
said depreciates.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't buy real estate, you know, another thing I learned for the street hustlers out there, instead of putting up money, you know what I'm saying, trying to find a place to put up all your money, it's easy to hide a diamond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy diamonds. Put them up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But definitely all the rest of this, showing off for people that, you know what I'm saying, you don't know.
You don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To bring drama that you don't want.
Don't want.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to take you to a place you don't want to go.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. In one sentence, your definition of success.
By definition of success in one sentence is to build a great relationship with your family. All right? Yeah. A great relationship with your maker, with God. Probably start off with God. Build a great relationship with God.
Yeah.
Build a great relationship with family. Okay? And align yourself with people that are truly there to support you.
Exactly.
You know, and to remain disciplined.
Yeah. Discipline
is a cornerstone to all of it. Mm-hmm. You know, because at the end of the day, discipline weigh ounces, regret weigh tons. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stay disciplined. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you read the book No Excuses, Brian Tracy, he talks about, he was at an event, and at this event, and this guy, he wrote a book, 1,000 Ways to Be Successful. Right. You know, and so he saw the guy in the cafeteria. And he said, well, you know, what is the number one way? And the guy, he kind of smirked and laughed, because of course he'd been asked this question 1,000 times. Right? He says, well, if you have discipline and lack the 999, you will be successful. But if you lack discipline and you have all the 999, you won't be successful. You know. Yeah. So yeah, that is the one thing that I would say is to align yourself with those three pillars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's next for you in the next 12 months? It's a new year.
Yeah,
you got a whole year.
Yeah. So in the next 12 months for me is I'm building a huge organization in Zinzino. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're growing tremendously globally. My team is. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Making an impact, health, because health right now is the biggest crisis that we have in our community.
In the world.
Yeah, huh?
I said
in the world. Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah.
You can't go nowhere without seeing them putting up new doctor's office, new.
Yeah. And health has been so dramatic for me in 2025. My mother, I lost my brother for health. You know, my daughter, she had a health scare.
Mm-hmm.
My dad right now, he's at Northwestern Hospital. And, you know, he got a tough road to fight in 93.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you look at health, you know, it's all around me. So, you know, so God is leading me in that direction. Real estate is, as far as me for real estate, is to, this year is to upgrade all my existing portfolio and then add to the portfolio. I'm going to add, I try to do 3 real estate deals a year.
Exactly.
No more than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if I can get them, as long as I can get them in before September, because after September, I don't like to work for the rest of the year. I like to take the 4th quarter off and just focus on building my health business, because that's my passion. Health is my passion. That's my movement. Healthy, wealthy, wise movement.
Right.
You know, man, as you can see right here.
Yep.
So that's my passion. That's my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's my goal right there, and we'll hit that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll hit it.
Let's
I learned that whatever you do, you either gonna do it fast and then that last, right? Or you're gonna scale.
Right.
So a billionaire taught me. He taught me how to scale. He said, you can go this or you can go that. You know what I mean? See, he said if you scale, you could project for a decline in your business,
right,
and still it not affect your livelihood.
Your livelihood, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you go this,
you don't see, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come down like that.
Come down like that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So scaling is the way to go. It's scale.
Makes sense.
And then, you know what I'm saying, if you see yourself dipping, then you could pivot. And you could make an adjustment.
Make adjustments.
You know what I'm saying? And go.
It make
you know what I mean?
Make total sense.
Yeah. So because you see people all the time. They go out, they open up these franchise restaurants. They got a good thing. Maybe it's some turkey this or whatever. And then they franchise it because it's booming. And they go open up 10 of them. And then you don't see none.
They fall like a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's tell people where they can find you at on social media, websites, and everything.
Yeah. So naturally, you can, of course, you can find me. I'm on social media. You can go to my Facebook page. You can inbox me on my Facebook page. If you want to know anything about Zinzino, you could text Zinzino, Zinzino, to 312-530-8505. And you'll get information to our calls, and you could get on. We do a product call every Tuesday. It's not nothing to we're trying to recruit you, anything like that. We're giving information, showing you how to be healthy. Like tonight, I got a call here tonight. And it's not even me. I'll be on it, but I got one of the #1 nutritionists in the world that is on that call every Tuesday. And he's there delivering information and then answering questions. So that's how you can find me. And then you also can go to Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Movement. Okay, that's my Facebook page. You know what I'm saying? You can find me there as well. So any one of those things like that, you can find me.
All right, we're finna wrap it on up, but I want you to drop a gem. Give one piece of real advice for someone stuck between wanting it and doing it.
One advice between wanting and then doing it. That's real simple for me. Discipline.
Right back to it.
Discipline. Discipline is cornerstone of success. Okay? If you have discipline, you will be successful.
Yeah.
If you lack discipline, you won't be. And you have to have enough discipline to also to see it through. And you got to have enough discipline to pivot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to be able to know. And then find a mentor. And find one that you're willing to invest in. Never don't never spend time with a mentor and expect it for free. You know, take them to lunch. I don't care if it's your daddy. Treat them to lunch. Be your mentor. If it's your brother, treat them to lunch. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to pay the price to invest in you. You know,
and even if you can't take them to lunch, bring them coffee and a donut.
Something. Invest something.
Yeah.
Man, can I clean your house? Can I do
Wash your
something?
car,
Right.
something, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, because when you look at what powerful people do, and we study people like Napoleon Hill. What did Napoleon Hill do? What did he do? That was how did he get so accessible to the wealthiest people of our time? The Carnegies.
Right. The
Henry Ford.
Rockefellers. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The man asked Carnegie, could he go and travel the world on his own dime? Don't pay me nothing. And I come back and bring you an interview from all of your friends that's in your network. That's how Napoleon Hill got started.
Makes sense, though.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
On his own dime. And if you listen to the No Excuses, Brian Tracy, he followed that same success.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to pay your price.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay the price.
That's what we're doing right here, too. We got the man right here we talking to. Frank Kimbrough.
Yeah, you know, I mean, so discipline is so important.
Okay.
You got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to a young lady before I came down here, and she's talking about in the business. She's not having any success. Mm-hmm. And she said, I've talked to 40 people. I said, I talked to 40 people today. And they said, no, all 40 of them. You ain't even got started.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Discipline. Can you make it every time? Can you show up to every? If you want to be good in real estate, you gotta talk to some of the greatest people in real estate.
Real estate, yeah.
You know, whether it's YouTube or whether you read books.
Or Frank Kimbrough.
Yeah. Or
call him on Facebook, y'all. Get a consultation with him.
Yeah, we're working on a program. We're working on a program for that.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Because I do want to. I want to help people. I just got to figure out how to way to do it and scale it and make it fit where it's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Meaning in my time. You know what I'm saying? Where I can get more of a group of people. Yeah. But I have in line with great people in real estate. I get people with real estate all the time.
Right.
Every single day I'm getting calls with helping people with real estate, helping people do transactions. I just finished a 45 unit project, you know, saying consulting project I did for somebody over east. We had completion this week, finished the project, less than a year.
Right.
You know, so you just gotta, discipline. Learn discipline. Now Mike Tyson says, you know what I'm saying? Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what Mike Tyson said. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Frank, coming on and dropping them gems on Chicago Blueprint. It was an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem, man. You know I got you.
Yes, sir.
Whenever.
Yes,
whenever.
Sir.
Look forward to have you back on here.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, whenever. You know, just let me know.
Thank you.
Know what I'm saying?